All right. This happened while I was actually gone. This is something that happened, to my family. Like I was telling, my family's well known in the neighborhood. Back in the day, my grandmother used to do a lot of cooking, and my uncle, he's a DJ. He used to have his set here all the time. So every like major holiday or like event, everybody be here from all over the neighborhood, all over Brooklyn, all over New York. Period. It'd be like tons of people from even from Jersey, just coming up here. It'd be like cars double parked and just hanging out, drinking beers, drinking food, music, just hanging outside, But it was a couple Labor Days ago. I was still enlisted. I wasn't actually home at the time, but it was a big thing. My family, they called me, they were hysterical. My cousins were crying and everything on the phone. They were telling me what was going on. So what happened is my uncle, he had his music playing, and at the time, I guess, that's when they started confiscating, loud music systems and stuff like that. And the door was open. They had the music playing. My uncle had the music playing. Even though the speakers were inside the house, he had it blasting loud enough that people could stand outside and listen to the music. So the cops came. It was like 5 or 10 cops. They came up to the house. It was during Labor Day. It gets pretty crazy around there. They pushed the door open. They were like, pretty much they came to take the set. So my little cousin, she answered the door, Raven, and she was like, all right, you can't just walk in here like that. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, I'll go get my uncle, the DJ, and he'll come and talk to you. So she goes to close the door, and the cop slams the door open, and the door like hits her in the face, right? So, my other little cousin, he was a little older than her, and he's more aggressive, kind of like how I kind of told him to be a scrapper, and what happened is I guess the fact that he seen his sister get hit in the face with a door, it enraged him. So off of instinct, he pushed the cop that slammed the door and hit her in the face, like at the moment, like it wasn't even like like a split second after. It was like as soon as he did it, he like pushed him. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you push my, you hit my sister in the face, and immediately, like the cops just started trying to jump on him and tackle him, and start to strike him. Now, my other cousins, they started running up the stairs, and they started, like trying to break up, like so all these cops are in my house, and like my cousins like ran in the house behind the cops, and they're like trying to break it up, and they like split, they're like getting in between the cops and my cousin because they're like trying to hit him with the clubs. So he's like hanging over the banister on the top of my sister. I don't know if you want to get like a quick look at it over there. So now he's like, he makes his way outside or whatever, and it's like cops coming upstairs, and now he's like hanging over the banister, trying to like jump out of the way and hide from the cops, and then he runs downstairs by my grandmother's house, and the cops like running there behind him, and my grandmother, she's a home interior decorator. She's trying to get like her camera ready. The cops are like trying to like swat her camera down, and they're like breaking, like she has like like some of her stuff from her home interior decorating up. They're like breaking stuff, trying to like grab my cousin, and they're just like wailing on him. And like now it's like a full-on brawl with my family versus the cops, and it's like one of my female cousins, she was pregnant at the time. They were like yoking her up and like trying to drag her, you know what I'm saying? And then like my older female cousin, she got involved because she's like, she's pregnant, get off of her, and now she's involved, and it just like kept getting bigger and bigger. And pretty much it ended up with like 90% of my family and my extended family getting arrested that night. It was like 150 cops out here. They had helicopters, out here and everything. It was pretty big. It made the news, for a brief moment of time. And yeah, like I wasn't actually here at the moment, but I can only imagine. Like I respect the law, and I would never do anything to like compromise me or my family. But I can imagine seeing anything happen to one of my loved ones, I would act passionately about it, and knowing the physical training that I've had, and like I also was in MMA and stuff like that. They probably would have tried to kill me because I would have been going to town. So they probably would have never definitely not taken it easy on me. Once they would have got over on me. You know what I mean? So
And what's the difference? The guy who pushed the door had a badge on. If I would have done that, or some stranger would have done that, man, it would have been completely justified.
Yeah, it would have been completely justified. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you whoop his butt. You know what I'm saying? You to do whatever you had to do. It would have been like, all right, yo, he broke into the house. You know what I mean? But it just happened to be a cop. So it was just like, all right, I don't care if it's a cop. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's like he just violated one of my family members. So they tried to defend that, and you know, they had to pay the piper. You know what I'm saying? Like it was totally illegal. You know, the way how they acted and reacted, and it was unfair completely. So and that's another like crazy story. That's just one of a million stories in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right on, man.